And while celebrating, we started kind of deliberating and thinking about what is it that we wanted to achieve as a team and as a company. The idea was not very clear at that time, but we just celebrated what we did that we were achieved by 2018 to 2016. In 2017, things started becoming clearer to us and also for the team as a whole. We explained what we were seeking to achieve as PayCheap and how we intend to position ourselves and introduce the multi-store concept for the first time. In 2020, we spoke about dedication and being part of a cause. And also, the whole idea about being an entrepreneur. Obviously, entrepreneurs are celebrated so much, but what most people do not understand is what it really takes to make a dream a reality. It's not always the effort of the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur just has the idea and they implement, but to actually get the idea off the ground and make it a success, it takes a lot of entrepreneurship within the business to get that to succeed. And I think one of the things we're doing today is celebrating the PayCheap team, because it's because of your effort and your dedication that we are here today and we are sustaining. We've run our race, and when we started, we had other companies that started along with us, and most of them have either closed their doors or they are struggling with what I'm doing. And the fact that we are standing, it means the team and myself, we are doing something right. And today, we just want to make sure we are celebrating as a team, because all of this will never be possible without you. And in 2021, we spoke about the power of focus, and we used Capitec as an example to demonstrate how a company can be very focused, and they actually emerged from the shadows and actually became one of the top banks in South Africa. So we deliberated a lot about focus, and last year was quite a landmark in our business, and we spoke about having a vision and how nations have risen and fallen. We also used the example of the great Egyptian empire to demonstrate how nations rise, they lose focus, and they fall. We also spoke about the Jews and how they succeed in their communities, and what is it that is special about this particular group of people, and what can we learn or copy from them and implement in our own community to kind of also excel and become successful in the things that we do. And this year, in 2023, as we celebrate our 7th year anniversary, I'll be talking a little bit more about focus and positioning, and why focus and positioning is paramount to our success in this new phase of our journey. So we'll be getting talking a lot about having a purpose and positioning yourself as a company. So what is purpose? Purpose is having a reason to wake up in the morning, go out, do something that everyone thinks you are working, but you don't really feel like you're working. So I'm not sure about how many staff members leave their home every day, come to work, but at the end of the day, they don't feel like they are working. That is purpose. If you have a purpose, you're happy to do whatever it is you're doing, you don't feel like you're working. Positioning is understanding what makes your business truly special and narrowing your focus on that to make sure you are giving the best that you can to your customers. So we'll be talking a lot about purpose and positioning. That is what we're going to be doing as we turn 7. As we get more mature, we need to look at the past, evaluate the things that we've done well, the things that are working for us, and zoom into those things and kind of like use that to move forward. So there's a great writer called Omar Bradley. So he says, set your focus by the stars, not by the lights of every passing ship. So set your focus by the stars, not by the light of every passing ship. So if you set your focus on something, not everything that shines is going to be the star that you pursue. So it's very, very important to be focused. As a business, how can we apply that to ourselves as a business? Not everything that we could generate some financial benefit is worthy our time to purchase that. So we need to be very focused. We set the star and we chase that star. No matter what difficult it is, keep focusing on that star. So at this point, I would like to pause, and I work mostly from the head office, and once in a while I'll visit the stores to see how things are working. But I think the store managers play a very critical role in how we perform and how we succeed as a company. So I have spoken about purpose and positioning, and also about what makes us special. I would like the two store managers, Pharaoh and Mustafa, maybe can stand up for a second, please. So, what makes us PayCheap from your interaction with customers and from what do you make us special?
I think it's the customer service.
Customer service and the price. What about the customer service?
Customer service.
What means the customer service?
WhatsApp.
So, Paso, what as a store manager, what do you think makes us so special?
One thing that it's not all customers and customer service that we provide, because most of the people that come in always face service that either time, either for a suit, always take it off the time. So I would say one thing that makes me any also in customer service, relationship we have with the
So, what is very common between can we give them a round of applause? Okay, yeah, thank you. So I think one thing that is very common is the fact that the customers appreciate the good customer service that we give. So that's something that we get into. And to demonstrate and to speak a little bit more about this issue of purpose and positioning, I would like to tell a little story about a bakery owner that actually hired a business coach to look into their business and kind of steer them in the right direction. So this guy's name was Jack, and he owned a bakery store. So if you're a bakery owner, what happens is that you have flour, you have machines to bake the bread, and obviously you have certain confectionaries that you sell, right? So what Jack was doing was, since he had access to all these things, he was selling flour to some customers, and he was helping some customers to service their machines, and sometimes supplying the machines. And also he was supplying confectionaries like croissants, biscuits, those kind of things to the hotel. So when he met with Pablo Paiti, which was the business coach, so what Pablo told him was, I think at the time that business was doing about 50 million rand annually. So what Pablo told him is that your business is too complex, and I think you've got about 3 segments that I can identify. I would like you to choose one. So, as a business coach, for him, he felt like if Jack focused on one segment only, he can have the maximum impact, and also he can actually become a leader in that particular segment, and he could generate more revenue over time. But for Jack, it was a bit of a challenge. And they actually got into a debate, which eventually grew into an argument, and it became a very big problem. And Pablo, who was actually the business coach, had to sit back and reevaluate his strategies. Whether from the books he has been reading, that always said the customer is right. Whether in this case was Jack right, or were his principles as a business coach of telling Jack to be focused on one segment They said, right. So they sent Jack away, and after a couple of weeks, and after the scheme had pulled down, Jack now came back and said, you know what, maybe you could be right, but I'm not really ready to sacrifice any segment of my customers because I'm generating revenue from all these customers. So I don't understand why you want me to focus only on one segment. But he said, anyway, since I hire you as a coach, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So they started working together. And as the story progressed, along the line, they decided that maybe Jack should actually focus on serving confectionaries to the hotel group that he was servicing and try to see how we can expand that. So they embarked on a journey, and it was quite a long journey. So it's a long story short. After about 8 years into the journey, Jack's turnover had improved, and he had some form of near monopoly in the confectionery business supplying the hotels. He actually ended up readjusting the whole model, whereby he bought like a special refrigerator where they could pre-bake the bread with 90%, and then serve it to the hotels now bake it, and then they only needed like 10 minutes to warm up the bread and get it fully cooked and then serve to their customers. So he had cut, the whole process of making the bread by at least a couple of hours per day. So he could serve more hotels over a short period of time. The hotels were happy and his business was growing. And after about 12 years into the program, Jack's business had grown to about a billion rand in annual revenue. And when he was approached by Warren Buffett, who was willing to invest in the bakery business, he said he wasn't willing to sell. Why? Because he was very comfortable. He was well structured. He could sit anywhere in the world and run his business. His staff members knew exactly what to do at what time without Jack's supervision. Because what happened is he had narrowed his business, to a particular segment, and he had full mastery of what he was doing. So that was something that, he had to make the decision. He wasn't too sure about what to do, but he had to make the decision to develop the company. But at the end of the day, the decision that he made was a good one, and it was well rewarded. So I think as we also are getting mature as a company, we need to identify what revenue streams are we currently starting the business, and where can we focus our energy on as we mature, because not all, like the statement says, set your focus by the stars, not by the light of every passing ship. That is something that we need to take into the 7th year anniversary. So I would like us to I shared some the A4 pages for the team to look at a few things there, which are our core values, our vision, our mission, and the PayCheap. Okay. So I'll just like you guys to look at this. I'll just like you guys to look at the pages I've shared with you guys. I think as a team we need to reflect on our core values, our mission, our vision, and also what is it that is particular about PayCheap, what is the PayCheap way of doing things. And if maybe for the new staff members who join us, who have not had the opportunity of looking at this particular the vision, the mission, and the PayCheap way, I think it's an opportunity for you to look at it and then reflect on whether your way of doing things in the company has been in line with this objective of sales. Because later on today, we'll be recognizing a few of the key staff members who would feel they have been quite outstanding. And I think most of those things will be done in line with these objectives, or the strategic intent, the vision, the mission, and the PayCheap. So our strategic intent, right? So what have we set ourselves to achieve as a company? So what's our strategic intent? So to create value for our customers, to lower prices, and customer service. So I'm happy that at least we are really hitting one of the strategic intent, which is a good customer service that we offer our customers. What's our vision as a company? Our vision is to position PayCheap as a one-stop Afrocentric shopping destination for all our customers, for all customer electronic parts, accessories, gadgets, as well as defense services. What's our mission as a company? Our mission is to achieve our vision through lower prices, curating our service offering to fit the African market, by partnering with like-minded Afrocentric entrepreneurs to bring the PayCheap way, as well as our products and services to all Africans. And because of this particular mission, that's why we launched the franchise program last week. And what is the PayCheap way of doing things? So the PayCheap way is to act as a stepping stone and rekindle the spirit of entrepreneurship on the African continent with a strong focus on continuous learning. Be an example of how a truly Afrocentric business should be operated with genuine respect for customers, employees, stakeholders, and above all, operate under the spirit of Ubuntu. To be the most customer-centric business on the African continent, through our relentless effort to put customer service. So these are the things that we always think about as we operate as a business. When you wake up every day to come to work, these are things that we always consider. And these are things that we guide with every action as a staff member of the company. Now, what are the core values that I expected in the PayCheap company? So, number one, focus on creating value. You have to focus on creating value. Every day you come to work and you close, you need to evaluate yourself and ask, what value have I created today? Did I spend my entire day wasting time on Facebook? Did I spend my entire day doing things that have nothing to do with the business? And when I walk past you, you switch off the tab? Is that what you're doing? If you're doing that, you are not you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You don't harness core values of the PayCheap staff member. So you need to reposition yourself. Don't waste valuable time on social media. I think that is the first point. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is a thing of the past. It doesn't work anymore. If your intention is to work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., then you are in the wrong place. I can tell you that. Here we work round the clock, either physically or in the mind. If you are not thinking enough, or you switch off from 5 p.m., then you will soon be unemployed and either working for yourself or sitting at home. I was thinking the phrase that creates value. We only create value through thinking. When we started, the reason why we are able to hire more people, give more people an opportunity, is because we are constantly thinking. That's the value is created. When you think, that's when you create value. So I was thinking the phrase that creates value. If you are not constantly using the phrase, I was thinking, if you come to me or if you spend a month or a week, and I don't hear you saying, I was thinking, you need to understand that within me, I know you are not thinking, and you're not contributing to the company. If you're not thinking, you're not contributing. So I was thinking, that, if you are not constantly using the phrase, I was thinking, then technically you are sleeping the whole time and working on autopilot. I was thinking with the phrase that creates value. So use it. Customer is queen. The king rules the palace, but the queen keeps it together. Everything we do is for the customer's interest and to make their daily lives better. So give them the most respect and put the customer at the center of everything that we do. Respect for each other. That's the fifth core value of it. Respect your fellow staff members. As together we make life a little easier every day. Always remember, an older staff member always knows a little bit of something you don't know, because they are there before you know something that they know which you do not know. You need to always respect each other. So have respect for your colleagues, especially those who came before you. Stay clean and tidy. We think and work better in a clean and tidy environment. So make this a second nature. Before asking a question, first Google it. When you read about something, then you will understand better when someone explains it. So be respectful and self-educate yourself as much as possible. That's why we have unlimited internet around all our stores, all our offices. Always go the extra mile. It's very important. Always go the extra mile. When you are given a task, go beyond. The genius level is not in doing the obvious, but going beyond. So always go an extra mile. I may not be there, Mike may not be there, Angelo may not be there, your colleagues may not be next. But when you go an extra mile, it gets noticed. And if you just do the obvious, it also gets noticed. Always have that in mind. Don't ever think that you are too clever. Whatever good thing you do, whenever you go an extra mile, you always be noticed. Create opportunity for others. This is the last, not the least. If you are working with PayCheap, well done. It was not good feeling being unemployed. I hope we all know what the thing that is employed. So if you have a job, well done. So what you have to do is to make sure, through your efforts and productivity, PayCheap can hire 10 more people. So as we go into our 70th anniversary, ask yourself, based on what you're doing, are your efforts contributing to PayCheap being able to hire 10 more people because of the effort? That's the question you must ask yourself. Are you creating value in such a way that you can hire more people behind you? Is that the kind of mindset that you have when you come to work every day? This is the PayCheap way. That is the spirit of Ubuntu I was talking about. One of our core values is to the second PayCheap, the PayCheap way, the second point, the PayCheap way, be an example of how a truly appreciative business can be created with genuine respect for customers, employees, stakeholders, and above all, the spirit of Ubuntu. That closes the last one. So, after going through those core values and reiterating our vision, mission, and as well as the PayCheap way, as we get older and as we get into our 7th year, how will PayCheap position ourselves now going forward? What are the things that we'd like to implement as we go into the 7th year? So when we began this year, one thing that we set for ourselves was to say, by the end of the year, we want to make sure, at least revenue-wise, we generate at least $1 million in annual revenue. So we've been monitoring this and seeing how far we've come. So at the end of the year, I will come to you guys again and I will give a report on the objective we set for ourselves, and if we managed to achieve that. And if we did, we will congratulate ourselves. But if we didn't, we will look at why we didn't and how can we make sure that the next one that we set for ourselves, we make sure that it's actually attained. So as we get older and as we understand our business a little bit better, and as we purposefully position ourselves, we are introducing the concept of the PayCheap Repair Cafes. So after we introduced the franchise program, and we looked at the program over a period of 1 year, we had a couple of people who were interested in joining again, so we said, you know what, let's pause. And let's look at this thing a bit more in detail and see what have we learned, or what can we learn, or what is it that we seem to build into this thing to make it better, more attractive, and to kind of really position ourselves way better as a company. So we believe with the increased competition in the market, and also with the increased competition, we think we need to reposition ourselves into a company that attracts customers, using different channels. So we're introducing the concept of PayCheap Repair Cafes. So the idea would be not to change radically what we do right now. We're still going to do what we're doing, but we're just going to see how to readjust our model and tap into a new customer segment that maybe we have not been serving before. So the whole concept of the repair cafes would be to restructure our stores, to maybe speak more of a service first business as opposed to the product first business. So when the customer walks into the store, we want to have multiple technicians in our locations. We want to rebrand and redecorate our locations to be a little bit more attractive. And as time goes on, we want to be able to serve our customers coffee when they visit our stores. And that's something that we're looking for. We want to have a section where customers can come and smoke their cigars in our store while waiting for their PC or laptop to be serviced. That's something that we think we would like to see in the company. We don't know how this is going to work, but what I can tell you is that we're going to try it. And hopefully, with the plans that we have, we can see where this takes us as we try to be more focused and add more value to our customers. So, enough about PayCheap now and the corporate section of PayCheap. So now to the partners who are here today with us. So it's actually a bit of a sacrifice for you to be here as well, and then you guys have to make the time to be here. So you guys decided to join PayCheap as the first version of the franchise. I know it's possible but maybe you made that decision.
Thank you, I'm tired. No, just take for another 5-6 minutes.
I know it's quite a challenging journey for most of you. It is good for me as well. But it's been challenging at the same time, it's been very exciting to know that I don't only have brothers or people I call friends, but people that I could also grow and develop as business. The charity begins at home. And if I couldn't start that with you guys, I don't think there was any better group of people who have to begin that with. So thank you for trusting me, and thank you for being next to me, and thank you for being courageous enough to understand all the uncertainties and still be courageous enough to follow. I really appreciate that. But most importantly, as we get older and as we understand our strengths and weaknesses better, we should never be too confident to think that we know too much. It's a constant learning process. I am always learning, and I'll always be learning. I will never raise my arm and hit my chest and say I know too much. There are many tools to compete, not just try. So, in your own business, what other tools are you implementing? What other ways are you trying to make sure that you have a sustained growth in your business? So those are things that you should be reflecting on. PayCheap can actually open up the door for you, but you actually have to take the flag and grab it. That is what you need to make it happen. So success takes time. So please be patient. When you fight with me, when you are frustrated, I do understand. And if maybe at any point you may have felt like I've been very harsh, or maybe I have treated you in a way you didn't like, please forgive me. It's just the way business is done. Sometimes mixing business and family is very difficult. And I wasn't raised that way in business. So sorry if I cannot treat you in the way that you think me to treat. But in that way, that is not a way of stimulating growth. I need to make sure that we are working within the principles of the business and not giving you any form of undeserved advantage. And also, I would like to say, to see change in your business, you need to make sure you're implementing changes today. So if something has to change tomorrow, you have to make the changes today. And that's why every year I stand in front of you to first of all let you know what we've done in the past and what we intend to do in the future. We are constantly changing what we want to see change in the business and what to change the things. And lastly, but not the least, you have to think, create, and innovate. You have to think, you have to create, and you have to keep innovating. That is the only thing that's going to keep your venture alive. Without this, you will blame the system when things are not going well. And maybe at the end, you might even come to me, you might argue. But again, no matter what happens, you will still need to go sit down, think, you have to create, and you innovate. But that's the only thing that's going to make a difference in the business. To the PayCheap staff, as we refine our focus and positioning, it's important to know a few things. You have to understand that certain members of the team will no longer be part of the business as we move forward. We're going to have to let you go if you feel like your objectives are not aligned with where the business is going. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you feel you might need to be in a different place other than where you are currently. So don't be surprised when you come to work one Monday or one Tuesday, some of your staff members or some people are not there. Don't understand that it's just not the best place to be anymore with regards to where we're going. We will prefer to guide you as staff members of the company. We prefer to guide you on what to do, but not micromanage you. That is not what we like to do. Use the employee core values which I've shared with you and which I've taken so much time to explain point by point. Use the employee core values to serve as a guide on what's expected of you. These days, I only spend about 2 days at head office. Most of the days I'm not there. Not because I'm not doing anything, but there are other things that I need to be doing in other places to make sure that we are growing as a company. One thing I don't want is for you next year to be the same as where the previous year. As time goes on, we all need to grow, both in intellect and financially. That's very important. And that cannot happen if I'm sitting in the same spot all the time. Always do your best, whether someone is watching you or not. That's very important. Always do your best, whether someone is watching you or not. Those things get noticed. Those things get noticed, not just by me, but by your fellow staff members. If you spend your time watching YouTube videos that are not enhancing your knowledge in the business, or spend your time on Facebook or listening to music the whole time in the office, just know that people are noticing. We can have cameras in the stores, and there are eyes that are watching you that you don't even see. So whatever you do, please always know that it's being noticed. And if you do something right, you will be rewarded. To my store managers, currently we have Paso, and we have Paso, and we have Pakazi. And also technically, we have T, Tandesai. Realize that you play an important role. And all the improvements and adjustments that we implement would go in vain if you do not do the final, if you do not do the final finishing, let me say that way. Everything we implement will go in vain if you do not do the final finishing. So execution is very important at the store level. So thank you very much.